Welcome back to Mini Makes. My name is Callie and today we are going to be making mini pumpkin pies. So this recipe is so simple, it is so delicious, it is perfect to make this time of the year and you are absolutely going to love it. So let's get right into it, but before we begin, as always, please remember to subscribe, like, share, chat in the comment section, and follow me on social media for more recipes and additional content. So let's get right into it. These are the ingredients that we are going to be using. I have some brown sugar, granulated sugar, some pure pumpkin puree, some pumpkin pie spice. You could either buy store-bought pumpkin pie spice or you can make your own. I am making my own and it consists of some cinnamon, nutmeg, whole cloves, and allspice. I have some vanilla, an egg, 1 egg yolk, melted butter, some half and half, and a little bit of salt, and that is it for now. We'll talk about the pie dough momentarily. So let's get right into it. First things first, get your oven preheated to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure that is nice and hot and ready to go. And let's do this. So we're gonna grab both types of sugar. Into this, I'm gonna add in my egg along with that additional egg yolk. And I'm just gonna give everything a mix. Okay, this looks great. So we're gonna throw in the melted butter and give this a mix as well. Okay, this looks wonderful. So next we're gonna throw in our vanilla extract. We're just gonna throw everything else in here. So we're gonna throw in our vanilla extract along with our pure pumpkin puree, our half and half, and our salt. And I'm gonna give everything a mix to combine. And while I do that, I just wanna let you know, I am not kidding. This is a very simple recipe. I already shared a pumpkin pie recipe, just a traditional pumpkin pie. Check that out. I'll put the link for that in the description below. And like I say in that video as well, pumpkin pie is a really simple dessert to make. It's one of my favorites. I know it's obviously very traditional this time of the year. And check out that recipe as well. So I'm going in with my salt and my half and half, and I'm going to give this a stir until it's nice and creamy. Okay, this looks wonderful, so I'm gonna clean up and then let's talk pie dough. Okay, so we're back. Let's talk pie dough. So I am using the pie dough that I recently posted a recipe video for, and I will link the recipe video along with the written recipe in the description box below. So go ahead and check that out. And like I said in that video, what I did was make just a separate, very in-depth how to make pie dough video that I'm gonna link in the description of every recipe video going forward that uses that pie dough recipe. And the reason why I did that is because I just have so many recipes that use pie dough coming in the coming months, and it's gonna get a little monotonous making it on camera every single time you need this pie dough. So refer to that video if you have any questions. I go really in depth. This is very simple. It is a great recipe and I highly recommend you using it. So that's that. So first of all, what we're gonna do is, actually first let's talk about the pan. I have a muffin pan that I just greased with some butter, non-stick spray, either will do. I'm gonna set that aside. And so next, let's generously flour your work surface like so. And I also want to point out, so I'm taking the advice that I gave to you. I am using that advice. The pie dough that I make a bulk ahead of time, especially because I do a lot of baking. And then I just stick it in the refrigerator until I'm ready to use it. And it just saves so much time, you know, especially on holidays, or if you're someone like me who bakes often. If I had to bake this the day of, using it every time I needed to make pie dough, it would just be so much more work than just doing it all at once. So it's very simple, it's very flaky, and it is just foolproof, and I highly recommend you use this recipe. But if you have your own recipe, of course, you could do that as well. Okay, so I'm also going to flour the top of this along with my rolling pin, and I'm just gonna roll this out till it's nice and thin. And oh, by the way, you wanna keep, and I say this in the video, but you wanna always keep your pie dough nice and refrigerated until you're ready to use it. This just came out of the refrigerator. You don't wanna keep it at room temperature, because once it sits at room temperature, the butter is gonna start to melt, and the butter, the flakes of butter, is what is gonna make this a really nice and flaky dough. So nice and chilled. That's why it looks really hard right now, because it just came out of my refrigerator, but it's all gonna work out. You have to trust me on that. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, so we are back. As you can see, I rolled out the dough, and next what we're gonna do is we are going to shape the dough into little circles to put into our pie pan. So you could do this by either using a biscuit cutter, or you could do what I'm doing and just use like a coffee cup or even like the lid of a large mason jar. Whatever you have will kind of do the trick. And so just form it into circles like so. You could dust off some of the excess flour if you need. And then, I want you to be able to see this on camera, I'm going to just pop them into the muffin tins like this. Just press down the sides to make sure everything is nice and kind of fit. And now I'm just kind of forming it like so. And there you go. So I'm just gonna continue doing this process and then we will fill them. Okay, so next up, to fill these, what I think is the easiest way to get the batter into the dough is to use an ice cream scoop. A couple scoops is perfect. You, of course, could use a spoon. But yeah, you want to fill these about, I don't know, I would say 2/3 of the way high. Do not fill them all the way up to the tippy top of the muffin tin, of course. You want to still see some of the pie dough poking out. So I'm going to continue just filling these, and then these are going to go into my 375 degree preheated oven for about 21 to 25 minutes, and I'll show you what they look like once they're done. Okay, so we are back. These bake for exactly 22 minutes in the oven. You want to let them cool, and I do want to point out that once they come out of the oven, they're going to puff up and then they'll deflate, and that is to be expected. Do not worry about that. And of course, you have to top them with a little bit of whipped cream like so, and enjoy. So, as always, for the full written recipe and instructions, head to my blog, moodymakesrecipes.com. I'll put the link for that in the description box below. Click on the link, the recipe will come right up, and make these mini pumpkin pies. I promise you're gonna love them, and let me know what you think because I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.